In 1967, the small town of Caldogno in northern Italy was chosen as the birthplace of something divine. Roberto Baggio preached the game so well that scouts from Vicenza came to see for themselves what all the fuss was about. 90 minutes and 6 goals later, Roberto moved to the biggest club team in the region. Defensive Italian football had no idea what they had on their hands. In 1990, Ghanaian immigrants Thomas and Rose Bawua celebrated a World Cup in their new home city of Palermo with the birth of little Mario. 3 years later, they'd send their hyperactive child to an Italian foster family in Brescia. Bawua became Balotelli, and when he turned 18, Balotelli became an Italian citizen. With all the flashy football talent floating around the world, Italy suddenly found they had one of their own. Despite his rare talent, Roberto Baggio never seemed in charge of his destiny. He passed through 7 Serie A clubs, staying longest at Juventus, where he was smuggled in a world record transfer against his will, but won the 1993 Ballon d'Or. At Vicenza, major knee surgery and 220 stitches had led to modest returns, but he gained cult status with Fiorentina and was devastated to leave for Juve. Milan, Bologna, Inter and Brescia, so great was the weight of all the teams he carried on his slight frame, his battered body would consistently betray him. Contrary to Baggio, Balotelli's only ailment growing up was an allergy to training. Joining 3rd Division Lumezzane after a failed tryout with Barcelona as a 15-year-old, he ended up with Internazionale a year later, under the watchful eye of his fiery mentor, Roberto Mancini. Balotelli would become Inter's youngest player to score in a Champions League match. But when Jose Mourinho took over at the San Siro, he became the team's biggest headache. Young and unruly, eventually the annoying little brother scenario wore out its welcome with Inter captain Javier Zanetti and company, and he moved to Man City, where he was reunited with Mancini. It was a tumultuous reunion. There were moments of brilliance and moments of, well, Balotelli. When he asked the world why always me during a Manchester derby, Mancini was probably asking himself the same question. The inevitable split came in January 2013, when Balotelli returned to Milan, but with the Rossoneri, the club he followed as a child. USA 94 immortalized the divine ponytail as the man who missed the deciding penalty kick in Italy's loss to Brazil in the World Cup final. But it also showed the world just how special Baggio was. 5 goals scored, dragging his otherwise average team to the final and playing in it with a pulled hamstring. He was magic when the rest of his team wasn't. 27 goals in 56 matches for the Azzurri. So many caps deserved and yet so many denied by coaches who seemed to prefer to bench him rather than expose their own coaching flaws. For Mario Balotelli, his national team call-ups have always come with a warning label. But at Euro 2012, Super Mario became a national hero. His 2 goals against Germany, the second one an explosion off his right foot, solidified his stance as Italy's most dominant attacking weapon. A Buddhist in a country of Roman Catholics, Baggio is a goodwill ambassador for the United Nations and an all-round philanthropist. He's so active in charity work that he received a Peace Summit Award from the Nobel Peace Prize laureates. But he's otherwise withdrawn from public life and has retired to his ranch in Argentina. Super Mario, on the other hand, is a paparazzi superstar. He's broken curfews and crashed cars, set off fireworks and paternity suits. If Balotelli isn't causing trouble, trouble finds him. But when it comes to fighting racism, he's a leader in the field. So much so, he's garnered the cover of Time and named one of the magazine's 100 most influential people in the world. So one of them is super, and the other is divine. Both have done things on the field that have left you wanting more. But for Mario to achieve divinity, he'll have to change his ways and harness his hyperactivity. Otherwise, he may just become another unfortunate case of unfulfilled talent.